The Race of Life, the most powerful motivational story. Life is often compared to a race, but not the kind you see in the Olympics, where the fastest runner wins and everyone else fades into the background, not in zero. The race of life is much deeper than that. It's not about speed. It's about endurance. It's not about finishing first. It's about finishing well. This is a story about Elijah, a man just like you, like me, like so many of us men, who learned that the most powerful race is the one you keep running, even when you feel like giving up. Elijah was the kind of person people said would go far. Smart, focused, full of dreams. He had it all mapped out. Graduate by 21, get a job by 23, be financially stable by 25, marriage, a house, maybe even his own business, and for a while life followed his plan. At 21, he graduated top of his class. At 23, he got his first job offer. Everyone clapped, family was proud, friends were inspired. But life has always had its own race map. Just 1 year into the job, the company downsized. Elijah was let go. At first he was optimistic. "I'll bounce back," he said. But weeks turned into months. That job applications turned into silence. Rejections came, sometimes polite, sometimes brutal. He watched as his classmates moved forward. Photos of vacations, engagements, business wins, new cars, and he felt stuck. He stopped attending gatherings, stopped replying to messages. He even started avoiding mirrors because he no longer recognized the person he saw. He wasn't running anymore. He had stopped. One morning after a particularly restless night, Elijah went out for a walk. He didn't know why, he just needed air. That's when he noticed an old man jogging slowly in the park. His pace was steady but slow. Each step looked like it took effort. Elijah sat on a bench just watching the man jog past, smiled, and said, "Beautiful morning, isn't it?" Elijah nodded. Something about that man's energy made him curious. "Sir," he asked, "why do you run every day? You look tired." "You're old. What's the point?" The man chuckled. "I don't run to win," he said. "I run to keep going." And then, without Elijah asking, the man began to share. "Son, I lost everything in my 40s. My business failed. My wife passed away. My kids moved out and barely called. I got depressed. I stopped living. For years, I was just breathing, but not alive. Then one day I saw this very park, and I told myself, if I can take just one step forward today, maybe I'll want to take another tomorrow." That was 20 years ago. I've been running since. Elijah didn't say a word. He didn't need to. That old man had just handed him something he had lost months ago: hope. That night Elijah didn't find a job. His bank account didn't fill up. His problems didn't disappear. But he wrote one thing in his journal: "Tomorrow I run." And that's exactly what he did. Not literally at first, but he got up early. He cleaned his room. He updated his. He sent out 3 applications. Not 10, just 3. The next day, he sent out 4. Then 5. He watched videos, took online courses. He learned a new skill: video editing, then graphic design, then copywriting. He volunteered to help a local NGO with their social media. They didn't pay him, but he gained experience, connections, confidence. Slowly the fog began to lift. The rejection still came, but now he didn't stop, because the goal was no longer speed, it was movement. One small job turned into a contract. That contract led to a referral. That referral became a business, and that business changed his life. Not overnight, but day by day. Elijah no longer cared who was ahead. He no longer watched others like a spectator in the stands. He was in the race again at his pace. Elijah no longer cared who was ahead. He no longer watched others like a spectator in the stands. He was in the race again at his pace. And the truth is, he wasn't behind. He was right on time for his journey. You see, the race of life is different for everyone. Some will sprint for a while and slow down later. Some will fall, take years to get back up, and still finish strong. Some will look like they're winning, until burnout stops them cold. It's not about who gets there first. It's about who doesn't quit. Life is full of hurdles, delays, detours, losses. But here's the thing, the fact that you're still here means the race is still on. You're still in it, still running, still alive. And that means you still have a chance. Maybe you're listening to this and you feel like Elijah. You started strong, but somewhere along the way you lost energy. You got tired, that you stopped moving. Listen carefully, you don't have to sprint. You don't have to impress anyone. You don't have to catch up. You just have to start again. One small step, then another, and then another. Don't compare your journey. Don't panic over timelines. The race of life is not a 100-meter dash. It's a marathon, and it's your lane, your timing, your finish line. You may not be where you want to be right now, but you're not where you used to be, and that counts for something. Elijah's story didn't end with a big award or a perfect life. It ended with purpose, with peace, with a deep understanding that progress matters more than perfection. So, if you're listening to this and you've been discouraged, delayed, overwhelmed, just know this: your race isn't over. You haven't failed, and you are not too late. The most powerful thing you can do right now is keep moving, even if it's slow, even if no one sees you, even if no one claps. Because one day someone will look at your life and say, if they didn't quit, maybe I won't either. So keep running in your lane, at your pace, with your heart. This is the race of life, and you're doing just fine. And even if the path isn't clear right now, even if the finish line seems miles away, understand this: clarity often comes in motion, not before it. You may not feel ready, you may not feel strong, but readiness is built step by step, and strength is forged in the fire of persistence. Some days you'll move with power, other days all you can manage is a shuffle. Both count, both are movement, both are progress. There will be people who doubt you, people who tell you you're too slow, too late, too old, too inexperienced. Ignore them. They're not running your race. They don't carry your burdens. They don't see the courage it takes just to get out of bed some mornings. But you know what you've survived. You know what you're still standing through, and that alone makes you a fighter. This journey, your journey, isn't meant to mirror anyone else's. It's not a copy and paste life. It's a one-of-one masterpiece with valleys and mountain tops uniquely crafted for you. And when you look back someday, it won't be the speed you remember. It'll be the resilience. It'll be the day you showed up, even when you had no motivation. It'll be the time you gave yourself grace when you stumbled. It's single quotes. I'll be the quiet no one else noticed, but you did. So breathe, reset, and take the next step. Not tomorrow, not when things feel better now. Because every moment you choose to keep going is a moment that builds your future. And one day, when you reach your version of the finish line, you'll realize it was never about the applause, the milestones, or the crowd. It was about who you became on the journey. The version of you that was born in the running. So run not to compete, but to complete. Run not to be seen, but to behold. Run not for the world, but for your soul. This is the race of life. And as long as your heart is still beating, you're still in it, and you're still winning. And when it feels like no one is cheering, when the silence is louder than your thoughts, remember, your worth isn't measured by applause. It's measured by your ability to rise again and again, even when no one sees it. The world might not understand your journey, but that doesn't make it any less powerful. Sometimes the most important breakthroughs happen in quiet, unseen places. So don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for certainty. Start with what you have. Trust that your consistency will turn confusion into clarity, and your small steps will eventually cover miles. You don't have to have it all figured out to move forward. You just need to believe that where you are is not where you'll always be. Keep going, your story is still being written. If this message stirred something in you, don't let it end here. Let it be the fuel you carry into your next decision, your next step, your next day. Life isn't about having all the answers. It's about showing up with heart, with hope, and with the courage to keep going even when it's hard. So, if you're still running your race, no matter how slow, no matter how tired, know this: you're not alone and you're not behind. You're becoming, and that alone is worth everything. Thanks for watching. If this inspired you, share it with someone who needs it. And remember, you haven't come this far just to come this far. Keep going. Your best is not behind you, it's just ahead.